Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I am the Art Whisperer, and on this channel, I like to talk about art interpretation and its connection to current day life. I do hold a BA in art history, hashtag goals. Or is it only twice? Hashtag. I think I did that 3 times. This is for entertainment purposes only, so let's just have some fun. This week's piece is a loud one. So grab your Bose headphones, the noise canceling ones, and let's get into this. This piece is a self-portrait by Sir Joshua Reynolds, a 1775 self-portrait of him as a deaf man. Now this piece is wonderful because it is a great example of the grand manner style and the chiaroscuro technique. The subject matter of this portrait is so important to point out what we have turned a deaf ear to for all these years. I mean, what is more important to art than the visual aesthetics of it? But I think it's going to take a deaf person to really point out the beauty. Deaf people are very visual people. So who better to teach us than one of the greatest painters who happen to be deaf? The chiaroscuro technique, as you can see in this painting, is really a technique where you take the light and shadow and you use them as a way to create emphasis on a 3D subject matter. Here are some great examples. You can think of this piece as the fact that the chiaroscuro is really showing emphasis on 2 parts, his head and his hand, the one that's cupping his ear. And it makes me wonder, is the main subject matter his ear, as if to tell us something about, say, his hearing? This kind of reminds me of last week's video about Vincent van Gogh and the whole ear cutting drama for your mama thing, which I loved me some ear drama. You see, the chiaroscuro effect really brings out his hearing, his ear, what he's trying to present to us. Is it the struggle of his hearing? Is it his pride in his hearing? Either way, this grand manner, which it draws influence from the classical and Renaissance art, where it likes to put more of an idealized view of nature and not necessarily the reality. Kind of like a filter today. I mean, let's be honest, every Instagram model out there, or, I'm just saying, I think a lot of them use filters. And no judgment, because I would totally use a filter on myself. Social media craze is just dominated by influencers, just like the grand manner style. They want to present the best of themselves. And I can't knock that, because I totally, like I said, I'd be down for that. But it is these posts that brought me to this video. You see, my 9-year-old self up here, because I'm totally immature, loves to scroll through Instagram or look it up on YouTube, really dumb fails so I can laugh. Like dance fails, those are the best because I have no rhythm. And come on now, you laugh too. They're all gonna laugh at you. Deaf girl dancing and signing to a Lil Kim, but it was a post of a deaf girl dancing and signing. There's one post that I just discovered. It's been out for months apparently, but I just discovered it on Instagram. And now I believe her name is Justina Miles. Now I'm not going to be able to put her video up because YouTube, rules. Like the way she does this, she's got swag. She is on point, like a Fred Astaire on point. I'm watching this video, I'm like, oh, this warms my heart. But then I thought, why is this trending? Because she's deaf and likes music, or deaf, likes music and can dance? that doesn't make sense to me. Do we assume just in general that people with a hearing loss just can't like those things or do those things even better than some of us that can hear? Like me, two left feet. That made me kind of sad. Are we the dumb ones? I think we can be. You see, he is trying to say something. He is speaking loud and clear. Okay? He might be deaf. He's not mute. He's not dumb. And this portrait shows that. You see, Sir Joshua Reynolds was an interesting man. He was born in 1723, England, and he showed talent from a young age. One of his sisters actually financially helped, get him going on his art path. He was a charismatic man, a generous man. He was a short man, 5'6". I mean, don't hate me, but that's kind of short for a dude. I'm just saying. He was a Casanova. He had many trysts with married women. And he was also one of the founding members of the Royal Academy of Arts and the first president. He was also kind of fame hungry. He wanted notoriety, and he got that. He became the principal painter for King George III, and apparently he totally undercut him on his pay because Reynolds was making 100 portraits a year, and he was charging a lot, 150 guinea pounds, whatever, 21 horses worth of money. Okay, now that is a lot. I can only imagine what I'd be worth. It'd be kind of sad thinking about that. 2 chickens, maybe 1 guinea pig. So this portrait of Reynolds, this one, not that one, but I kind of wish it was that one, but no, back to this one. Now Reynolds was 52 years old when he painted this. 26 years ago is when he became deaf. When he was 26, he took a trip to Rome, got super duper sick, and a result of that was the loss of his hearing. And ever since then, for the last 26 years, up until the day he died, he carried around an ear trumpet, a nice silver one, like a boss. Deaf culture throughout time has changed. It has been good, it has been bad, and it all depended on when you lived, where you lived. I mean, deaf and dumb actually came from the fact that people a lot of times didn't think that deaf people were smart enough to be able to be educated in the slightest bit, a handicap against hearing the word of God. And if you couldn't hear the word of God, you couldn't have a Christian burial because you were not blessed. There were also lots of deaf people throughout history that were very successful. A lot of deaf people that were trained as artists because they were better at viewing things. They were able to get into that fine detail that some of us just miss. Because if you look at this piece, it's got a lot of that detail. It shows it in his eyes. And I'm not talking about the hand and the ear thing. Just look at his face. It shows the emotion there, the life he has been living. The chiaroscuro effect maybe isn't pointing out the emotions. I like to think it is. Maybe it's not pointing to the hand. Like I said, let's forget about it. Maybe it's just pointing to the fact that he's human. He's just like everybody else, winning and losing at life. And maybe he's pay attention to that, people. Do you hear me? Now this dancer, the TikTok one, Miss Miles, the one with all the swag. I can't even do that with swag. She, in my opinion, is bringing the awareness. She is bringing the awareness to yeah, look what I can do. And as you're in amazement to like watching me do this, think about yourself. I look at that and I think she's a great dancer. She's better than some of the people that can hear. She could probably see things that I don't pay attention to. Maybe then I'd be able to, pick up a couple of steps. Maybe not. Maybe this piece of Reynolds is like an awareness piece, like her TikTok video might be used as awareness, you know, like a deaf pride. Sometimes the silent paintings speak very loudly and have a strong message. And Lou Ferrigno was hearing impaired. Didn't know that, did you? And he's totally worth like 21 horses. I thought I paid attention to detail, but I can see that there's a lot I'm missing. Instead of listening to what people are saying, maybe it's time that I start paying more attention to how they're saying it, what's happening around them, not just the words, but really taking a good look, like a good look, because you need to in life, or you're gonna miss so much beauty. And this piece, Reynolds, with that look and that cupped ear, you don't know what he's actually trying to say. He could be prideful. He could be turning around and be like, what? I can't hear you. Or he can be like, come closer, tell me, what do you see? I know from now on, I'm going to really pay attention to all the details when it comes to art and life. Every detail, even what I can't see that's hiding out from under my nose, like a bat in the cave. What do you see? You tell me. Do you have a problem listening? Do you struggle with all the little details of what's happening? Do you think that's what he was trying to say? Do you think it's just pride? Does it make you look at it a little differently? Can you dance? Do you think that I'm worth more than 2 chickens? But in the meantime, hit that like button, subscribe, put the comments down below. Come back next week to see what art pieces we discuss here on The Art Whisperer.